Tired of the negativity? Looking for a shot of optimism? Well, I have an inspiring story to make you smile right after this. This episode of Misfits and Crackpots is brought to you by the Well-Crafted Story Workshop. Struggling to connect with your audience and attract new clients? Transform your speaking skills at the Well-Crafted Story Workshop with Coach Jimmy Hayes Nelson and yours truly, Dr. Danny Brissell. In just 2 days, master the art of crafting compelling speeches that convert listeners into clients. Whether in-person or virtual, you'll get personalized attention in an intimate group, learning not just from expert coaches, but from fellow entrepreneurs. Don't let another opportunity slip away. Get your free story blueprint today at wellcraftedstoryworkshop.com and turn your story into your most powerful business tool. Your success starts here. Visit wellcraftedstoryworkshop.com now. You're just a well-crafted story away from 7 figures. Hello there, my friend, and welcome to Misfits and Crackpots, short, inspiring stories for busy people. I'm Dr. Danny Brissell. This is a podcast for those interested in extraordinary stories about ordinary people and companies. Consider it your dose of positivity and inspiration for the week. Booker T. Washington said, "If you want to lift yourself up, lift up someone else." This week's success strategy: be a team player. The headstone on her grave reads, "She loved baseball." While Effa never played the sport, she certainly left an indelible mark. Her journey began in Philadelphia during the Progressive Era, a time rife with both challenges and opportunities, especially for women and people of color. Effa, a woman of mixed racial heritage, navigated these complexities with resilience and ambition. Effa's family moved frequently throughout her childhood, but she found solace in the constancy of her own determination. Her educational experiences, though often interrupted, were rich with the kind of real-world learning that would serve her later in life. She developed a sharp business acumen early on, alongside a profound sense of justice, likely influenced by the activism that her family was known for. Upon receiving her high school diploma, Effa made her way to the bustling streets of New York City, settling into the vibrant heartbeat of Harlem. It was there she honed her craft in the world of millinery, hat making. She embraced the era's fashion while absorbing the rich cultural tapestry around her. Often found at Yankee Stadium watching Babe Ruth, she dedicated her time to local social organizations and causes. The Roaring '20s heralded a period of prosperity and societal change, and Effa was at the center of it all, thriving in the spirited life of the city. She was not just an observer of the cultural revolution around her, but a participant. A modern woman of the jazz age, Effa blended the traditional roles expected of her with the progressive spirit of the times. A marriage to a chauffeur ended quickly. The decade unfolded, however, with Effa emerging as a socialite and savvy businesswoman, her life a whirlwind of Harlem Renaissance soirees and the buzz of Prohibition-era excitement. It wasn't until the early 1930s, a time marked by the clatter of newspaper boys and the shadow of the Great Depression, that Effa's path crossed with that of Abraham Manley. Their fateful encounter occurred against the backdrop of the 1932 World Series, an event that captured the nation's attention amidst economic turmoil. Abe Manley's reputation as a numbers kingpin hinted at a mind for strategy and risk, traits that would serve them well in the years to come. A year after their meeting, Effa married Abe, 15 years her senior, on June 15, 1933. Amidst the tumultuous complexities of the era, Effa and Abe Manley's relationship would be marked by their affection for one another, shrewd entrepreneurial insight, and a shared zeal for the great American pastime. Their partnership would not only define their personal lives, but also leave an indelible mark on the world of baseball. The National Negro League awarded a franchise to Abe Manley in 1934. This team, the Brooklyn Eagles, played at Ebbets Field, which would later captivate millions of fans as the home of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Recognizing his wife's leadership skills, Abe put Effa in charge of running the team's day-to-day operations. Abe, meanwhile, became a league vice president, solidifying their influential positions. By the time they relocated the team to New Jersey, Effa became the driving force behind the team now known as the Newark Eagles. Her role went far beyond simple management. She became the public face of the team, dealing with the media, creating the schedule, arranging player housing, and promoting games. She even handled equipment acquisition and player contracts. Effa's impact on the team was profound. She implemented promotional strategies that brought fans to the stands and created a family-like atmosphere among the players. Her focus on community engagement and player welfare set her apart from her peers in the league. She wasn't just an owner. She was a member of a team she had helped to build and sustain. Her many contributions, both on and off the field, were a tribute to her commitment to the team's success. And her impact didn't stop at baseball. Effa was a staunch advocate for civil rights and participated actively in philanthropic efforts. Her activism extended to raising funds for the Harlem Women's Club and generously contributing to relief efforts following the devastating floods in the Ohio and Mississippi River valleys. She stood on the front lines of the Don't Buy Where You Can't Work movement, successfully pressuring local establishments to employ African American workers. She also served as a treasurer for the New Jersey branch of the NAACP, further solidifying her commitment to the progress of civil rights. And it was Effa who orchestrated protests against establishments that perpetuated employment discrimination. Throughout World War II, Effa dedicated herself to the national war effort, assuming roles such as a local warden for the Newark Defense Council, as well as working with the Price Control Board and the Jersey City War Saving Committee's Colored Women's Division. Her involvement also included the holding of positions of secretary and treasurer for the Women's Volunteer War Service Committee. In all her roles, Effa consistently employed her platform to champion the rights of her players and the broader African American community. Her influence was not only left in the realm of social justice, but also used the world of baseball as a springboard for further advocacy. Working tirelessly for equitable wages and better living conditions for her players, Effa urged fellow African American team owners to establish their own stadiums, thus liberating them from the constraints imposed by white-owned venues. She was fiercely critical of Major League Baseball general manager Branch Rickey for acquiring Jackie Robinson for the Brooklyn Dodgers without offering due compensation to the Negro League team that had developed his talent. With the transfer of her player, Larry Doby, to the Cleveland Indians, Manley championed his advancement while ensuring his contract included fair compensation, despite it being considerably less than the amounts typically received by white players. Manley had previously lobbied for the inclusion of Negro League teams within the white major leagues, a move she believed was ultimately disregarded, understanding that integrating Major League Baseball would signal the end of the Negro Leagues. Through it all, Effa's collaborative spirit and dedication to teamwork were evident in her leadership style, always aiming to lift others as she climbed and exemplifying the power of unity in driving change. For a considerable time, the achievements of Effa Manley remained uncelebrated, lost in the annals of history. Her pioneering role was overshadowed by the era's racial biases and further compounded by gender prejudices. It was a period when the accomplishments of black baseball teams were not held in the same esteem as those of their white counterparts, and being a woman in a male-dominated field placed her at a further disadvantage. Nonetheless, her legacy has transcended these barriers. Though the acknowledgement of her contributions came after her passing, Effa Manley's pioneering spirit has been immortalized with her induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, the first, and to date, only woman to ever receive such an honor. See, friend, inspiration is all around us. You just have to look for it. Thanks for listening. Join us next week for another inspiring story about misfits and Crackpots. Misfits and Crackpots is a production of Success Media, produced by Terrence Wishner. Sound effects by Alessandro Lucati, courtesy of Pixabay. Thank you for tuning in. If you love today's story, there's so much more to explore in the book Misfits and Crackpots by yours truly, Dr. Danny Brissell. Grab your copy now on Amazon and dive deeper into the extraordinary lives of those who dared to change the world. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with fellow misfits who love inspiring stories. See you next time.